Welcome to the Pay Yourself First podcast. My name is Chris Jolly, and I'm on a mission to financially empower millions of entrepreneurs. I want you to make and keep more money so that you can begin implementing and turbocharging a plan for creating financial freedom your way during the life cycle of your current business without spending a ton of time or becoming a professional investor. You see, most of the financial teachings out there are made for employees, not entrepreneurs. If you wouldn't listen to someone who doesn't have kids about parenting, why take business financial advice from someone without a business? Are you ready to break free of bad advice and follow the trail of other uncommon entrepreneurs so you can get from where you are now to the lifestyle you were aiming to create when you started your business? Then stick around. Here comes another episode of Pay Yourself First, where the only investment we offer is the one you make in yourself. All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. I am really excited as always because we have another amazing entrepreneur on for you today. And I'm really excited because Renee from Cape Movement is on, and she's at a little different point in her business than most of the entrepreneurs that we get to interview. So this is really exciting for me, and especially because of what she does. So first of all, Renee, I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day and joining us on the podcast and coming to share your wisdom with my audience.
Thanks, Chris. It's great to be here.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. So essentially what I'd love for you to do is if you could tell everybody out there what Cape Movement is and what your business does and who you serve.
Sure. I am a speech language pathologist by trade. And over the years, 22 years in that field, I was always seeking something more. And is this it? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And in the back of my mind, I joined some network marketing companies. I'm like, maybe that's it. So like always seeking to expand my horizons, to educate myself further, and not necessarily in my field of study, but just making an impact beyond the school. How can I make a difference? And over 2020, I invested in a mindset program. And through that, I learned a lot of foundational skills that I didn't know about before. And I'm a pretty educated human. And there were concepts that were not introduced to me until I was of the age of that I invested in this program. So I had met my business partner, Angie, through this program. And we kept hearing our mentor say, these things are not taught in schools. The teachers can't teach these things in schools because they weren't taught these things in schools. And on about our kids and how beneficial these concepts would be if we could get them in the hands of our children. So Angie and I, she's also an educator. We said, we have to make this happen. There is now that we know this information, we can't unknow it. And it would benefit our whole society if our children were being taught these foundational skills early on, as opposed to being in their 40s and unwiring and rewiring and things like that. So we created the CAPE movement, which is CAPE. So it's Children and Parents Empowered, CAPE. And it's a movement because it's something that our joy and our wish and our mission is to have a movement of mindset and empowerment going across the globe, where people are they're really pouring into themselves and making themselves feel good, and that enhance everything around them, and then also extend to all the people around them, because it does rub off on others when you're on a high energy and you know who you are and what you want. It inspires others as well. So we ended up developing a 13-lesson audio program called the Cape Mindset Method for Kids. And it's loosely based on the principles that we were learning through our journey. It's 60 years of research and study into the minds of how the top 1% of the population think, act, and operate. So we thought, we are good with kids, so we can take this information and really make it friendly for children, in the sense where they are learning really high level concepts in a really friendly way.
I think that's great. And Renee, you brought up such a great point there, which is the total lack of these things in the educational system. It's something I often talk about with people from the financial aspect, because it's the same kind of thing. Rather than waiting until we're in our mid 30s and 40s and realize we haven't saved any of the money we've ever made, we don't have a retirement plan, we have no idea what we're doing, we can get to the young people and let them start from a good basis. And then, as you said, that also trickles upwards to the parents, which helps the whole family. So absolutely
it does.
Amazing.
Yes. And even when you mention money, that's something we're not taught in schools either. We think coins, dollars, we're not really taught the essence of wealth and what wealth means and how to do our taxes and how to do a mortgage and things like that. These are skills that would have been super helpful, and maybe down the line they'll be part of curriculum. But in the meantime, you have Cape Movement to be that person, that program to help your family really understand very important life skills.
And can you tell me more about how you're getting that program out into the world and generating interest about it?
Sure. So we, along the path, have invested in several different ways to try and get it out there. A lot of it is Angie and my speaking and meeting with people and getting ourselves into rooms of like-minded folks that would really understand the power of this for children. So we've invested in a lot of groups and seminars and podcasts and online webinars, things like that, to try and really cultivate a really amazing community of people who support. And then hopefully from them, when it's actually worked in a lot of ways, it trickles down to who do they know and who could help them and who can help us and how can we help you. And it becomes this awesome network of people that really just truly want to help each other. And there's no strings attached. And so we've done a lot of networking like that with like-minded folks. We have a Facebook group. We have things that are up, and obviously Instagram, all the socials type stuff that we're building now, getting ourselves out there, our voices out there and what we do. So it's not confusing. So it's slowly building, and we keep meeting cooler and cooler people so that want to be a part of it. And we're so grateful that have expertise in these areas.
That's amazing. It's so important, especially in something like this, to not only build a product, but build a movement behind it and to inspire people with the reasons why you started it yourself. So I think it sounds like you're doing a great job with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, very cool. Now, I want to ask you about the financial aspect of the business for where you are yourself, because most of the entrepreneurs we talk to, they've been running their business for several years. They have a consistent cash flow, and so their constraints are a little bit different. For you, what have you been doing on the financial end in your business, and how many hats are you wearing, and what kind of experience is that like for you right now?
Well, if you can picture this, two educators with zero business experience outside of a school business, which you don't really have a lot of control over what goes on there, or even know what goes on because you're just there making your pay and you're doing your job. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. So if you can picture it, that Angie and I have started this and have funded it ourselves since the inception of this of this company, which has been 2 years now in the making. We have sought out, everyone always has an idea of how we can raise funds to keep the ball rolling. So we've applied for grants, we've applied for crowdfunding, and I Fund Women, and you name it, and even loans, and we get denied because we don't have an income. So for us, it's been like all heart and soul put into it, and the sweat equity, I guess you call it. But our mission is so strong that we find a way every time to make whatever we want happen, because we put it on our vision board. We talk about it. We put out the energy into the universe. We are very positive in our thinking. We watch how we speak about it. We don't say that we are not making an income right now. We say we're overcoming financial challenges. So it's all in the phrasing of how you look at it. And it's frustrating at times because we know how great this is. And we hear about all these people getting angel investors and private investors, and we just aren't there. We haven't really attracted the right humans for that at this point. So we've done it all on our own. My husband and Angie's husband have helped us along with everything that goes into this that we had no idea about. So right now we are at a point where we've set a goal for the next month and a half to start our kids cohort. So now we have attracted a sales team, and they've always been there, but we weren't ready, right? So the universe speaks and you have to listen, and it wasn't time. So now that it's time, we've had wonderful meetings with folks who really believe in the mission and have families that they have in mind already that would benefit from our program. In less words, our income is nothing at this point, except for the value we're getting from all the amazing people around us that are supporting us and the connections that they're helping us make to help bring this baby to life.
Yeah, I think you touched on a really lot of great points there, especially at the end. It's like when you grow a garden.
you have to have a lot of time and you have to take the care and you need to plant the seeds and you water and feed them. And
Mhm.
you don't see the next day that it sprouted. If you grow an orchard, you don't get fruit from it the first year. It's this process. And so it can be a long time from when you start a business and plant that first seed to the actual revenue stage when you start to make money and can actually start to pay yourself in the business. So I think that's so important to highlight. And then, as you said, the mindset piece, because especially when you're early on, it can be very challenging. It's easy to compare yourself to other people and where they are in their journey. Can you tell us how you've worked to stay away from that, or have you been able to keep the comparison aside and just be where you are on your journey?
Absolutely, Chris, because we practice what we are preaching. The basis of our program is the mindset, the empowerment, the power of your thoughts, how your subconscious mind works. We put into practice every day what we are teaching in this program. We also do a lot of study with our mentors, and we are constantly feeding ourselves with to have faith over the fear, to push through those tarot bars, even when you feel like it might not work out. It always gets better on the other side of that fear when you actually push through and do stuff that you might have been afraid to do before. So I practice the mindset in my own home. I've seen the benefits in my own home with the training that I've done and the study that I've done and the work that I've put in. And Angie as well. I can speak for her as well because she's amazing. And together we are the yin and the yang of I'm more of the realist where she's the dreamer. And it really works because we balance each other out in that sense, where if I'm going off a little bit off on the negative path, she ropes me in and she pushes me to remember this process. And what we're going through is exactly what we've learned about. And we're putting it right into practice in front of everybody.
Amazing.
So,
That's yeah,
mhm.
one of the best things about having a good business partner is having that other person to sound off of and like you said, to reel you back in when you start to lose it.
Yeah. Because there's waves. The entrepreneurial waves are real.
Um,
You're soaring one minute, the next minute you're, oh,
it is not a straight line process. That's
no.
100% sure. Now, Renee, I want to ask you on the personal side, as you build a business, what is one personal financial goal you'd really love to achieve?
I would like to make $1 million in a year. That's always been on the back of my mind to say I made $1 million this year.
In profit for yourself or in gross
Yes.
revenue? In
Yes.
profit for yourself.
Yes,
Very
because as we all know, once we start really generating income for this, we have a lot of things we have to pay for that are on credit cards and things like that. And so we know that those first sales are not going to be in the positive. It's you have to keep moving and you have to get yourself and then you have to keep investing in the business. So like when you get the money, it goes right back out because you want to keep expanding and growing. Yeah,
100.
but yeah.
And that $1 million payday is a great segue into my next question. I want to talk a little bit about financial freedom. So let's imagine you are making that $1 million a year. It's providing you with enough money to have the lifestyle you've always wanted. You have people working in the business, so you don't even have to be active in it if you don't want to be or need to be. What are you doing with your time then? What does life look like for you now in that
Oh
instance?
gosh, do you have enough time? I have so many wonderful things that I want to do. Number one being using God's grace to bless my pocket so I can bless others. Philanthropy is a really big value of mine and giving back. I've been involved with a couple of charities that it just inspires me to give more. And it just really is a great way to live because the exchange is always returned to you in one way, shape, or form as well. So for me to be able to fund a child to go to a soccer camp that his parents can't afford or pay for someone's plane ticket, something that really impacts and makes the world a better place because then that hopefully spreads from one to another. And I would love to be a catalyst for that in a lot of ways. As far as obviously my family, they come next and it would be the college funds and all these things for my kids. Retiring my husband is a huge why of why I'm doing this. He's works really hard and a lot of hours. He's a project manager and he's commuting a lot. And my joy would be to retire him and have him do what he loves as opposed to what he feels he has to do. And just being more present with my children. I've had that blessing since I resigned from my job and I started this. I'm able to put them on the bus and take them off the bus. And I'm able to they need me to pick them up. I'm here. I have flexibility in my schedule. So that is huge to me to maintain that. I can't ever go back to the structured, you must be here at this time job. It's gone. I can't do it anymore. But that was even a transition to go from that to this. But now that I feel not financially free yet, but I feel personal freedom where I can make my schedule and do the things that I always wanted to do during a day when I would used to rush home and do all the things and not be fully present for my kids because I was tired from the day and had all these things to do that you do as a mom and a house owner and all that stuff. So just being there, be more present.
It looks like you've definitely given it some thought before and have a great vision for it. So I want to ask you though, do you have a financial plan that you follow to work towards that as you build a business? Because I know for me, when I started my first business, you could have put my financial plan, excuse me, on a Post-it note, and it would have just said, put all of your money back into the business.
I think I should be thinking about this, but I think I'm so deep in the processes of everything, and we've had only a few dollars come in, so it hasn't really been significant enough for me to say, oh, maybe I should figure this out. I know certainly working with a financial planner and on how that works, paying myself first, because I know that's a thing, and it's about that time to pay myself instead of paying others for things. Definitely make myself comfortable. And then, but everything else goes back out, because the more and more we put into this and with our vision and our planning and we have phases of this production of this program. We're in phase 1 right now. So we want videography. We have a cartoon that's scripted. Everything's trademarked. We're ready to go. We need that income to be able to put back out there to produce more and better and bigger things for people.
Love it. Can you tell us what phase 2 looks like?
Yeah. So phase 1 is our audio program we have the corresponding activities. We have a Facebook group. We meet on Zoom to discuss the lessons. There's 13 lessons. Phase 2 is the video production of everything, which means that Angie and I would be face to face with backgrounds and all the fabulous things you can do with the corresponding cartoon for kids, which is scripted and fully ready to be produced. And it really just embodies what you learn in each lesson for kids. Phase 3 is the app and getting that out there where it's easily accessible. Right now, our program is on an online platform. It's accessible from anywhere, but we want our own CAPE app where people can access any resources and things like that. I can keep going. We want to be global. We already have folks who want to translate this program in several different languages. So it's like we're revving up for making really good, big impact across the world.
I love all of those plans. Now, tell me for one thing that you really want to get accomplished in this year, whether it's one of those or something else. What is your top initiative for the year inside the business?
Okay. We would like to have impacted income. That's really our hashtag is impacted income, and not only income for Angie and I, but for the folks who have been with us from day one with this dream and this vision of what we wanted to create. And we've had folks along the ride with us since day one who haven't taken an ounce of pay. So for us, it's to bless them, be able to put people on our payroll so they can bless their families with income, and just be sure that we are continuing to move forward with our initiative and meeting the right people. But I would say by the end of this year, the goal would be is to at least have 1,000 families, children and or families, because we do have an adult program too, enrolled in our program.
Amazing. So for everybody who's looking forward to celebrating your 1,000th family with you, which I'm sure you'll post all over the place, where can they go to find out more about you and the program and what you're doing?
Okay. So our website is kit.com. It's from like over a year ago that we had created it. And now we have a lot of things we want to change. Obviously, we're in a different space right now of just getting the message across. We are on LinkedIn, Cape Movement. We are on Facebook. We are Cape Movement. Instagram, Cape Movement. You can join our Facebook group, which we have a lot of great value in there for parents or we also have an educator program. So we have educators. I'm trying not to diverge because I'm so excited about all we have. Right now, our focus is the children. So the Facebook group would be for families that really are mindset forward and wanting to help their kids have self-belief and self-confidence and speak kindly to themselves like they would to their best friend. And that's not taught in schools. It's oftentimes that kids are they're so focused on their grades and things that society really focuses on, but really deep down, they don't know what they want. They don't know who they are. They don't know what their potential is. And the grades sometimes that's what they think their potential is. And it's not. It has no representation of their potential, their ability, their capability. We call it capability. So the report card syndrome is real. And kids, oftentimes they only feel good about themselves if they have good grades. And that's just not a good way to judge the type of person you are.
100%. It's great work that you're doing there. Now, for anybody out there who is also in the process of starting a business and getting it off the ground, can you share a piece of advice?
Keep going, because it's not going to be easy, but it will be rewarding at the end. And if you keep going, most of society stops as soon as things gets hard. Most of society, I would say probably like 97% of society, when they try to do something and they hit a roadblock, they quit. They go back to what's comfortable. They go back to what they're used to. They go back to what makes them feel good. This process there's the waves of I call it the roller coaster of emotions that you feel. If you have a purpose and a passion for something and a vision of what you want, the obstacles are just there to let you know that you're on the right path.
Renee, I've absolutely enjoyed talking to you today. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy schedule to come on the podcast and share with the audience. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, everybody out there, if you absolutely enjoyed it as well, and you can subscribe to the podcast and leave us one of those 5-star reviews. We really love that. It helps us out a lot and to reach more entrepreneurs. And if you are an entrepreneur and you want to come on and share your story, like our amazing guest Renee did today, we'd love to talk to you as well. For that, you can go to pyfpodcast.com. That's the letters pyfpodcast.com. And we would love to talk to you as well. Renee, thanks again. Everybody else, we'll see you next time.
If you've listened this far, chances are you're an entrepreneur looking to become more financially literate and create financial freedom for yourself from your business.
The Pay Yourself First podcast
is definitely here to help with that. My goal is to continue to share what I've learned about using your business as the tool to create financial freedom. But let's face it, it would take me years to share with you everything you need to know via these episodes. Creating financial freedom is something that most people never even consider, let alone make a plan for or take action towards. It's something almost no one was taught anything about. Doing it as an entrepreneur is even more challenging, especially without support. So if you're ready to get clear on what financial freedom looks like for you, come up with an action plan, and get the support systems and accountability you need, I invite you to consider the Abundantly Infinite Entrepreneur. I created the program to help entrepreneurs just like you get a handle on their personal and business finances and start building confidently towards financial freedom. And it's how you can discover ways to take 10 years off your retirement, add an extra 5 or 6 figures to your portfolio, and finally get clear on what numbers you should be tracking in your business and why. Together, we'll gain clarity around your financial goals and what being financially free would actually look like for you. Then we'll put together a customized game plan to get you there and the accountability to see you through. And by the way, you're also going to get all the spreadsheets you need to run your numbers, lifetime access to the materials, including any updates, and entry into our members-only community. In addition to all the knowledge, coaching, community, and systems that you need to create financial freedom from your business, you'll also receive a free financial assessment, a retirement planning session, and guided meditation aimed at helping you embody the feeling of true financial freedom. So yeah, you can just listen to the free content on these podcasts to help you move towards becoming a financially free entrepreneur. And sure, you'll likely see some results, or you can make the decision to commit to learning, implementing, and embodying what you need to know to create the financially free life you dreamed of when you started your business journey. Click the link in the show notes to answer a quick questionnaire, and you'll be on your way to joining the Abundantly Infinite Entrepreneur.